pray that you would bless every lady you have called to this platform. Bless the various families that we represent. During this Advent season, as our hearts turn towards your birth, we pray, Lord, that you would be reborn in our lives, and the changes that need to be made will be done so in preparation for your soon return. Again, we say you are welcome in our midst. In Jesus' name, amen. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I heard someone. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy to see you. Some got the memo and are wearing their red. You read my mind. Who is that getting into my mind and knowing me? Is that you, Miss Curtis and Janelyn and Andrea? You're reading my thoughts and mine? Woohoo! Have to be careful what I think, huh? Naomi, you didn't read my mind? You should have. Huh? What happened?
You look so pretty.
Good morning, Maureen. Good to see you. Good morning, Miss Phyllis. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see all of you this morning. Welcome to Let's Talk. Keep a smile on your face. It's the best accessory you can ever wear. Keep a smile on your face. It's the best accessory you can ever wear. Let's see what accessory you are wearing this morning. Norma, did you hear me? Let me see your accessory. Good. That's the best one you can wear. This morning we are challenged. I focus on what I can do instead of what I cannot do. I focus on what I can do instead of what I cannot do. So our focus this morning is on what?
We can do.
What you can do instead of
What I cannot do.
what I cannot do. That's our focus this morning. A new vocabulary word, you may know it. If you do, use it. If you don't, here's a new word for you to put in your arsenal. Verbatim. Verbatim. What is the word?
Verbatim.
Verbatim. It is an adverb. It means in exactly the same words as were used originally. Example, they were instructed to recall the passage verbatim. It's when you are quoting someone and you're using the exact words. You even put it in quotation marks to show these are the words that the person said. That word is verbatim. What's that word? Verbatim. That's a new word. Please practice using your words. It's like riding a bicycle. You don't use it, you're going to do what?
Lose it.
Lose it. So use it. Sound smart. Okay, use it verbatim. All right. What caught my eyes and ears in the news this week? Well, yesterday, some of you may have realized that Amazon had an outage. And yes, that big company, Amazon's outage impacted deliveries. All of us who waiting on our packages and boxes to come, a little delay because of Amazon's outages. And guess what? It didn't only impact deliveries. I was intrigued by listening to the news that it was not only deliveries that was impacted by Amazon's outage, but it says those customers that were trying to book on Delta Airlines, book a ticket or cancel a ticket because of that outage, they couldn't do it. And Ring Security, if you know about that, the Ring Security that many of us have in our homes, that didn't work because Amazon outage was happening. It says if you have online banking app, an online banking app with Chime, you aren't able to access your bank account because of that outage. Those who have a robot vacuum cleaner was affected by the outage. And I was reading where some people said they couldn't even get in their house because they were out on the road because they used the Ring app to access and unlock their doors, and they couldn't get into their homes. They had to reboot it, try to reboot it to get in. So the mighty Amazon shut down a lot of things yesterday, but they are back up and running. So hopefully our packages will get on track to arrive on time, and our Ring and all the other apps will be working. What else? I was reminded on the news, please be careful. Anyone calls you and tells you to buy a gift card and then read the numbers off to them because you owe a certain bill and this is the way to pay your bill, please do not do it. It's a scam. Do not give out your personal numbers. Don't matter who they say they are. Don't do that. So that's a scam. They are telling people, go and purchase a gift card, read the numbers off, and this will take care of your bills. Don't do it. Gift cards are just what it says. They are for gifts. They are not to pay bills. You don't pay bills with gift cards. Please don't be caught in that scam. And then finally, what else caught my attention in the news, that in the Rocky Mountains, they should have inches of snow by now from Thanksgiving, because that's where many persons go to spend Christmas. It's a tourist attraction, a resort. And right now, no snow. The grass is green, no snow. They're experiencing a mega drought and there is no snow. And we know if there's no snow, this is going to affect the water supply. It's going to, the region there would have a problem with water shortage, and the agriculture industry is going to suffer. Tourism is going to suffer. So they are praying for some snow in the Rocky Mountains. And we know this is all due to climate change. It's happening, yes, ladies, climate change is real. And that's what's happening out there in the Rocky Mountains. So they are the things that caught my attention in the news. Now, my question is, how are you preparing for Christmas if you prepared? Share. What are you doing? Anybody, what are you doing? I know one of my friends told me she was painting her table. What are you doing? Anybody doing anything exciting, preparing for Christmas? No, Miss Phyllis?
Nope.
Nobody preparing for Christmas?
House cleaning.
Cleaning, okay. What are you doing, Andrea?
I am making some gingerbread guys to put outside.
Okay, out of what?
Out of, let me see if you can see this.
Red man. Yeah.
Okay, out of what? What did you make them out of?
This is some
Cardboard.
sort of- some sort of-
Cardboard?
Oh,
Lovely.
yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that's good.
Nice. Make some for me too. I like that. Yes.
Thank you.
Good. So you're decorating your yard.
Yeah.
Nice. Good. Anybody else? What you doing? Nothing? You don't like Christmas? Is that what you're telling me? You don't like Christmas?
It's the best.
I like Christmas, but I'm still preparing in my mind.
Oh, you haven't reached there yet. Well,
No.
I have started because if you know me, this is my favorite time of year.
I love it
This
too.
makes me happy. I hope that no tragedy happens. This is the year you will find me happy. It's during this time. So yes, I started putting up my,
Tree. That's only 2.
only 2, you're right. I would put up 3. I can't find the others. I threw it out. Yeah, I put up my 2 Christmas trees and hopefully Kyle comes and help me put up the lights outside the house. Yes, I love Christmas. I really love Christmas. Okay, so what Christmas carol you always think of? What's the first Christmas carol that gets stuck in your head?
White Christmas.
Okay, you think about that all the time. Anybody else?
Oh, holy night.
Oh, you think about Oh Holy Night and one more?
Mary, did you know?
Okay, Camden was singing that the other day. I say, boy, you need to sing that for me on Let's Talk. Mary, did you know? Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So, what would be the most undesirable Christmas gift you could receive? Something you really don't want nobody to give you. What would that gift be?
Clothes.
You don't want any clothes. Okay, who's that?
No, mom. Just
You don't
curtains.
want any clothes. Okay. I don't want any, I don't want any either. I agree with you with that. But I don't know if it'll be the least desirable. What
Something
you're
for the
laughing, Andre, you want clothes. Your laugh said you want clothes. Don't
I
buy
want
me
something
any
for the
clothes. Me
house.
and Miss Ivis. What is that, Ivy?
Something for the house.
Yeah, they like to give us that, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Think we don't want any personal gift. We must always be in the kitchen cooking. Isn't that something? That happens to you too?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I do it too, so I'm guilty. But I'm guilty. I'm guilty. You don't get a personal gift,
Right.
you know? What's that personal gift you really want?
I don't know.
What's a personal gift you really want?
If I'm Blanche, if I get a watch,
Yeah.
You want a watch. Okay. You'll be very happy. Okay. Roll
I
and
think-
Sual, are you listening?
I think that's where the problem is, because sometimes you want to ask people what they want, because I rather to ask someone what they want for Christmas than to just go out and buy. And they'll be like, oh, you can just buy something, you know? So it leaves you with no floor to, you know, you have to just try to say, what would I like within yourself? So
Okay, Christine says she like to ask. Do you like people to ask you what you want? What you think? What you say?
no, it wouldn't be a gift. Oh, Christine, hear what I want now. Christine, you get that?
Good, that's a good one. She wants a watch. You heard it. Do you
Yes,
like
I
it
heard
when someone
I heard
asks?
you.
What about the rest of you? Do you like it when someone asks, what do you want?
Yeah, because you'll know that's something you could use.
Okay, anybody else?
I mean, my children is doing always asking me what I want.
They do too. Carmen, Kyle does. I like the element of surprise.
Surprise.
Prize, yeah.
I do. For me, I think read my thoughts all during the year and what you hear me saying and put that puzzle all together. If I know what the gift is already, there's no surprise. Thank you. It's something I like the watch I wanted, but oh, if you'd had given me that watch without me asking or telling you, I like that element of surprise. I would prefer that element of surprise, of
But
course.
do you think Christmas is surprise? Is a surprise? Should be a surprise?
For me, if it's a gift, I'll prefer surprise. It doesn't happen, of course. My husband, all what you want. Kavika, what you want. I say, get what you think I need. You can't go wrong with me with perfume. Don't ask me what kind. Make it expensive and a nice smell. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with me with flowers. Woo. Order
Mm,
flowers every week for me and I'll put fresh flowers. You can't go wrong with me with
No.
stuff like that. What I wouldn't want, don't buy me no figurines. Y'all heard me? Don't buy me no figurines. I'm not a figurine person. Don't buy me no figurine and plaque with mantra on it. Beautiful as a mantra is, I don't want any plaque on those. They are least favorite gift. Figurines, plaque. Buy me a painting if you want to, somewhere the landscape. You know, they my least favorite. Now you know what I like and don't like, what to send my way. And Jenny said she needs a watch. The rest of you didn't say what you want. You want a surprise. Okay. Well, today is National Brownie Day. National Brownie Day. There are 3 myths regarding the creation of the brownie. One, they say the brownie came about because accidentally the chef added melted chocolate to a biscuit dough. And that's how brownie originated. There's another myth that says a forgetful cook left out the flour when mixing the batter. And that's how brownie came about. And the third myth says, when the housewife didn't have any baking powder, she improvised to create a new treat. And she decided to serve her guests a flattened cookie because she didn't have any baking powder. And that's how brownie came about. So today is National Brownie Day. So our recipe definitely should be what? Brownie. Yes, it is National Brownie Day. Then our recipe is brownie. This is just one of the many brownie recipes. This one uses Kellogg's Rice Krispies cereal as a major part of this brownie. How many of you like brownie, by the way? You like brownie?
I do. I do.
Some nuts in it. Yeah, I was first introduced to brownie. I could remember when I was in primary school. Those who knew the Bahamas know Dr. Franklin Joaquin. He was my classmate. And where his mom worked, they would give her brownies and he would bring it to school for us girls to share. And we would take that little brownie and little piece to about 8 of us. That's the first time I was introduced to brownie. Thank you, Dr. Joaquin. You may not remember me or that, but yes, first introduction to brownie. So make some brownie this weekend. All right? Some brownie, or let me give you either or. Since Andrea is putting a gingerbread man outside, brownie or gingerbread man? You have a choice of your recipe, brownie or gingerbread man. Okay, that's what you're baking this weekend. Now let's segue to our health quiz. And we have, I think, 6 short questions for you this morning.
That's correct. There'll be 6 short multiple choice questions that will pop up on your screen. Some of them are pretty simple, some of them a little bit more challenging, but there are 6 questions. We give you 2 minutes. Just select the answer you believe is correct. And at the very bottom, be sure to hit submit, and good luck. All right, we'll give you just another 20 seconds. Be sure to hit submit. All right, here we're going to share the results.
All right, let's see what you came up with. If you needed to measure 1 cup of milk, what would you use? I thought this was a good question because as home bakers, we tend to grab any cup, any glass, and we think they are all the same size and just dump it in. But 1 cup of milk, you need to use a liquid measuring cup, a liquid measuring cup if you're going to get the accuracy of that recipe. Okay, next one. What are the 2 types of protein? And the 2 types of protein are complete and incomplete. What do we mean by that? Complete proteins are your chicken and other meat products. They are your fish. They are your complete proteins. Your incomplete proteins would be your nuts, legumes, whole grains. They would be your incomplete proteins. So they are the 2 types of proteins, complete and incomplete. How many essential nutrients are there? There are 6 of them, 6 essential nutrients. Question number 4, which of these minerals keeps bones and teeth healthy? And 100% got it correct with calcium. Where do we get calcium from, by the way? What foods you need to eat or drink? Anybody?
Milk.
What's that?
Milk,
Milk, only milk?
nuts,
Okay. Calcium?
Yeah, dairy products.
Okay, any dairy products would be your what?
calcium,
Cheese, your
cheese.
yogurts, anything like that. Okay. Question number 5, again with measurement. If you had to measure out 1 cup of flour, how would you do it? I seldom do the answer to this, to be honest. Seldom do it. I learned this when I did home ec, did it then, but I don't. Okay, spoon the flour into a dry measuring cup and level it off.
Yeah,
How many of you really do that?
sometime.
You do it sometimes?
Yes, ma'am.
The rest of you don't just dump it in the cup and
No,
reach to the top? You do
No.
level it off
I level it. And the spoon,
and spoon it in as well?
Yeah. And then you top it down so it can balance off.
Really? Okay, good. No wonder your brownies come out perfect and mine don't. Dump that in the cup and this a cup and put it in. All right, but that's the correct way to do it. And last question, number 6, what is the main purpose of protein? The main purpose of protein, to maintain cells and tissue. To maintain cells and tissue. That's the main purpose of us eating protein. Anybody with all 6?
No.
Nobody? 5?
5.
Good. 5, good. All right, I'm not going less than 5. The rest of you going to be like Demi, see me in summer school?
4.
4. All right, that means we learned something. Anytime you don't get something correct, you learn something. If you get all correct, you reinforce what you learned. Always learning, always learning. Don't forget that. And now let's segue to Let's Talk exercise. I hope you've been able to get in at least 30 minutes every single day. And I know I have to, because I told you I like Christmas. It's like Thanksgiving is coming up and Christmas is food. Okay, so I need to do it. Okay, let's see. Let's get your report. Give your report, please.
Jenny
Good, Jenalyn.
Andrea,
Andrea, wow.
Naomi,
All right, way to go. Who else?
Norma.
Good job, Norma. Blanche. Anyone else? Nobody else got your exercise in? Okay. So you have next week to catch up. So you have to begin today in order to get your 1 weekend. Okay, don't give up on yourself.
Demi.
Okay, Kyle will put it in after.
Yeah, just moved her up.
You put it in. All right. Try and keep up. Make it a habit until you feel you have to do it. That's where you have to get with your exercise. At first, you know, you have to think about it, make an excuse why you can't do it. But if you practice doing it continually, it become a habit that you just find yourself doing it. That is what we want to, or the place where we want to reach with our exercises. We're just habit. You just do it. Okay, so keep plugging at it. Remember, it's all about keeping us healthy in our bodies and our minds. Bodies and minds. And it pays off spiritually as well. Okay, now let's hear what our tech tip is this morning.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle Spence. I'll be bringing your tech tip for today. Today is actually going to be extremely simple. And I just learned it too. So I'm sure there are others who probably cracked the code. But did you know that there's a very, very quick way of redialing someone on your cell phone? I didn't know that there was a way. I usually go to my phone and then I go to my recent calls and then I tap the one that I want and then I call that number. But turns out there's actually a way that you're able to make a call to the most recent person you dialed by simply doing this trick. So I'm just going to show you that really quick. Awesome. I didn't know about it. I looked it up and I said, oh, I did not know this was a thing. So I thought it would be cool to share. All right. So quick recap. What did we just talk about? Can anyone help me out with that?
Dial in the most recent call.
All right. Thank you, Angelina. And how do we do that? What did we learn? What is a simple way of dialing the most recent person we've called? I think I heard something, but I can't hear it too well. Ms. Andrea, would you be able to share with us how do we do that?
you tap the phone, the green phone button.
Okay.
And it goes to, recent calls, and you press recall to the recent call, the person you speak to recently.
Right. If you tap the green button on your keypad, it will automatically pop up with the most recent number you dialed. And if that's the one you want to dial, just tap it again and it makes the call. So I thought that was really cool, really simple. I think everyone would be able to use it, especially if you're frequently talking to a particular person every day. You know that was the last person you called. You don't have to go to your call log to find out, oh, okay, let me tap this picture and then let me hit the dial. You can just hit the green button, it pops up, hit it again, you make a call. All right, so that's just my simple tech tip for today. Thank you for your attentiveness, and we will segue to the next part of the show.
I like that. You like that?
Yes.
Gonna come in handy. Yes, I like that. I like that. Thank you, Kyle. I like that. And now you have been cooking and baking. Last week we know was Hanukkah. And boy, trying some Jewish dishes. Let's see what you came up with. All right, tell us who made this matzo ball soup.
That's my own, Andrea.
Okay, that's Andrea. How was it? Tell us how it tasted.
It was great.
So would you do it again?
It's time consuming, but I would, because everybody ate it. And, you know, sometimes they don't eat all the food, but everybody ate and wanted more. So I'll do it.
Okay, so yes, so it must have been, yes, must have been good. Okay, whose is this?
That's ours. We also did potato latkes as well.
Okay, how was it?
It was pretty good. I think you have, I know when I was reading the recipe, originally it said to use Yukon potatoes, but I used Washington potatoes instead. So, you know, I guess it depends on your preference of what potatoes you want to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we also, in the recipe, it called for eggs. We didn't use eggs, we used egg replacer.
Okay. All right, good. All right. And I made the latkes as well. I did it. See, mine look different from hers. It's the potato I think you use.
Yeah.
I use what potatoes. I had the red potatoes. So it makes a difference, I suppose, how it look. Kyle, did you like it?
No, I didn't like it. I did not like it.
Honesty.
Yes. They said you serve it with applesauce or yogurt. Okay, whose is this?
Mine. It's falafel. First, I'm hearing about this thing and I decided to try it. Honestly, and then it's made from chickpeas. It's too long, the process. You have to soak it for 24 hours.
Okay.
And then you blend and alter it. But then I went on with it because it's not the ingredients that I would eat. So it's so happened that roll came and I was saying, taste this. He said, Mommy, once you say taste something, it don't taste good. But my grandson now said, when he eats it, he said, oh, this could die for. I love it.
Okay.
He's not eating it. And when Roy tasted it, Roy said, it tastes like dirt.
Oh my goodness.
It depends on the person. And yes, and my grandson loved it. He took some for his mother. And I was glad to get them off my hand because it's too much work into it.
No, sir.
Okay, whose is this? Several of us did this.
That's me
Okay.
again.
Lake. Okay, whose is that?
That's Andrea.
Andrea, what type of potatoes you used?
It says rusted potatoes. That's what I use.
Oh, you did use what they call. Oh, did you like it? Your family liked it?
They ate that. I tell you, they eat the two of them. I was surprised. I thought it wasn't
Okay.
eat it, but they ate it. They enjoyed it.
All right. Okay, whose is this?
That's Demi, the chick strips.
Go on, Demi.
That's the matzo ball with shredded chicken. My mother helped me with the matzo ball, so yeah.
Did they enjoy yours?
But I didn't share mine. That was my lunch, so I ate it all up.
No, man. Let me see this.
You didn't get it. You didn't get any you didn't get any feedback on yours. Okay, you gave your own review. Whose is this?
Oh, it's mine.
Okay.
And it's made with egg white, sugar, and coconuts.
Oh.
Okay, coconut macarons. Your family
yes.
enjoyed yours?
Oh, yes, we do.
All right. Yeah, I like coconut. I could eat some of that as well. Okay, Norma, what did you make? Norma, what did you make? Okay.
She accidentally got kicked out, I guess.
Okay.
She-
Yes, so all right. Thank you so much for submitting your Hanukkah recipes. That's good. You tried something different. Oh, don't be afraid of trying something new. You never learn if you don't try something new. All right, good. Good job. Now you had to make 3 ornaments. 3 ornaments. Let's see what you made.
Hello. For this week's projects, my mom and I worked together on creating our 3 ornaments. As you can see, the first one is in a jar, decorated with candy canes, and on the bottom, the silver to mimic snow. Our second ornament is made from cardboard. We added red glitter curlings on one side and green on the other. The third ornament is a bulb with metallic glitter tape and filled with fake snow. Hope you like our project.
Yes, ladies, these are my ornaments, and they are made from cake plate and old Christmas card. Ornaments, this is what Christmas is all about, making things for the festive season. You can put them on your Christmas tree or by your windows.
Good day, ladies. These are my ornaments. Here are the first 2. This one is made from a glass bottle, wrapped with ribbon and decorations inserted in it. The other one is a centerpiece. A centerpiece is for any furniture, dining table, dresser, anything. Can do with a little dressing up. All this glittering for Christmas. Then the third one is made to be hung on the wall. It's made from ribbons and glittering decorations. These ornaments are not made just to glitter. They remind us of the gift that was given to us many years ago. And these gifts are love, joy, and peace. My ornaments remind me of the gift of God at this Christmas time. Merry Christmas!
These are my 3 Christmas ornaments that I made for Let's Talk. Here I made a wreath. I took an empty cardboard box. I cut the cardboard box in a circular shape. I then added a bow and some other embellishments along with the garland to the cardboard to make a wreath. This is a star that I made. I took the empty tissue paper holder and I cut it in strips. And then I added some embellishments to decorate the center of the star. This is an angel that I made. The angel was made from a white chart paper. I took some cords and I placed some white cords around the chart paper. I then used some glitter and other embellishments to decorate the angel. These Christmas ornaments will be placed on a tree.
Good morning, Let's Talk family. This week our project was to make 3 different Christmas ornaments. So I made some salt and flour dough ornaments, which are the star and these other shapes. These are all the flour dough ornaments. And then I used a pine cone and I made this ornament. And the third one, I used tea lights, 2 tea lights, and these are my tea light ornaments. So I just put it on the Christmas tree. I just took out, I haven't started decorating yet, but to get an idea of what they may look like when I complete the decoration of my Christmas tree. Here are my 3 sets of Christmas ornaments that I will be sure to put on my tree this year.
Good afternoon, Let's Talk. Our project this week is to make Christmas ornaments. We're supposed to make 3 of them. These are my 3 that I made in my theme for this year. Black and white with little red berries. 3 clear balls. I have a black one, black and white, and then a black and white checkerboard. These are my ornaments for this project this week. Bye.
Hello everyone. I've baked for this week a coconuts macaroon, which is one of the Jewish desserts traditions. I've also made 3 ornaments to celebrate the Hanukkah. These are the selections from the written things for it, and there's also this ornament that I made with Jewish colors. And this is another ornament. Now, in addition to these 3 Jewish ones, I've made regular Christmas ones. This is a container that I purchased, and it has I put people in it. This gentleman is skiing on it. Here's another one that I put my favorite doggy, a Dalmatian. And here's a third one, oops, this lady has been covered. Here she is. She was buried in the sun. And of course, they're all blessed by Santa.
Good afternoon, Let's Talk. Demi here. So our project this week was to make 3 ornaments, Christmas ornaments. And these are my ornaments. I made Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer out of sticks, googly eyes, and a ball. Then I have my tea light snowman family, that's 7 of them, and I made 2 Christmas trees. So this is one made of a cinnamon stick with some balls, and the other with a popsicle stick and some feathers. So these are my ornaments on my little tree, just in time for Christmas. Bye, Let's Talk.
Good job, ladies. Good job. I like how you're recycling, reusing. Good job. Good job. Excellent. And now I know you eagerly await to see what you're going to do this week, keeping in the theme of Christmas. You're leaning forward. I'm a teacher. I know what that means. I'm interested. What flower is known at Christmas? What flowers you see every time Christmas comes around?
Poinsettias.
All right, poinsettia. And that's what our project is going to be. Make a pot of poinsettias. That was easy, hey? 1 pot, 2 pots, 3 pots. I love poinsettias. We can't even afford them now. If you can find them in Walmart or the other stores, they're so expensive. So let's make some artificial poinsettias. A pot or more of poinsettias. Poinsettias. All right. Anything you want to make it out of, go to town. Get those brain cells working, those creative brain cells. A pot of poinsettias. Along with, of course, your gingerbread or your what? Brownie. Doing some baking too. Brownie or gingerbread. Any one of those, okay? And I will smell this nice scents coming out of your kitchen. Nothing smells good like baking something. All right. Now we're going to unpack this, continuing the Christmas story, Luke chapter 2, where we were last week. And we are going to look at verses 4 through 7. Our first question then is, Where did Joseph live? Where did he live? I need a response. Where did Joseph live?
Bethlehem.
Come on, we
He lived.
building on the basis from last week. Where did Joseph live?
Galilee.
Okay, be more specific. What was the name of the town?
Nazareth.
Nazareth. Joseph
Nazareth.
lived in the town of Nazareth. That's where he lived, but where was his ancestral home?
Bethlehem.
Bethlehem. We talked about that last week. His ancestral home was Bethlehem. What was another name for Bethlehem?
The stable.
It was
Another name for Bethlehem.
Ephrathah.
David, Judea.
Yes. Or the town of David, also known as the town of David. So what was special about being a descendant of David? What's special about that? Who was David? Who was David?
David was a king.
He was a king. He was a king. So if you were a descendant of David, you are from royalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, your lineage is royalty. So that's why the town of David was so special, mean royalty lineage. Well, why did he and Mary go to Bethlehem? Before we get to that question, let's look at what Luke 2:4 says to answer those questions. It says, so Joseph also went up from the town of
Galilee.
Nazareth, which was where he lived, in Galilee. Nazareth was in Galilee, to Judea, to which town? Bethlehem. That was his ancestral home. And another name for the town of Bethlehem is
City of
the town of
David.
David. It's on the screen. The town of David is on the screen. And he went there. I just asked that question. Why did they go? Because this version says he belongs to the house and line of David, from royal lineage. Give one of the reasons why they went to Bethlehem. So let's look at our next question. Why did they go to Bethlehem?
Because of the
time for the census.
It was time for the census. Any other reason?
The decree of the tax.
The decree made by whom?
Caesar Augustus.
Caesar Augustus, that all the world should be taxed. So they went to Bethlehem. They went to Bethlehem for, first of all, as brought out for census. All of us have been a part of census. What does census do? Take account. So you know how many people you have living there. Census. And they also went to pay what? Taxes. You know, that's how the country is run, by taxes. That's how your streets and roads and all those things are taken care of through taxes. Okay, so they went 2 reasons: to pay taxes and because the census was being taken. So verse 5 says he went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. What was the child's name to be?
Jesus.
Jesus. Jesus. What does the name Jesus mean?
Holy One.
God with us. God with us. God with us. Jesus. God with us. Well, this journey to Bethlehem was going to take about 4 days for normal people, you know, who were not pregnant or sick. And that was about 80 miles. But there are some reasons given why this journey would have taken longer for Mary and Joseph. You see, between getting from Nazareth to Bethlehem, they would have to go through the town of Samaria. Do you know anything about Samaria and why that would not be a good reason to travel through Samaria?
There are a lot of bandits on the road and harlots.
Okay, yes. Any other reason? Why wouldn't they travel through Samaria? Okay, you know that the Samaritans and the Jews were enemies. They didn't get along with each other. They were very hostile to each other. And so if they were to travel through Samaria, they may have been attacked physically, verbally, whatever. And so Joseph, I'm sure, must have decided to take another route other than to go through Samaria, because he know the Samaritans didn't like the Jews. You remember the story of the Good Samaritan?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Okay, so we have this feud between those two sets of people. So he may have taken a detour then around Samaria through the Jordan River to get back on track on his way to Bethlehem. And another reason could be he had to travel slowly because what?
Mary was pregnant.
Mary was pregnant, so he would go a little bit slower than the other people. And so they're suggesting that the one-way trip for them may have taken a week or 10 days because of these hindrances on his way to Bethlehem. Our next question says, when was Jesus born and what did Mary wrap him in? Where was he laid and why? First part of the question, when was Jesus born? And what did Mary wrap him in?
He was born in a manger.
Was born in a manger.
Not born in a manger, born in a stable.
Wrapped in
Swaddling clothes.
swaddling clothes. And
Danger.
okay, so he was in this stable. What do we find in a stable?
Animals.
Animals. So yes, he was born amongst animals. Luke 2:7 said she wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger. Okay, what's a manger?
Like a trough.
A feeding trough for animals. A feeding trough for animals. Now we read in other versions swaddling clothes. They were strips of cloth. They were not rags. I used to think maybe that's what it was, but in researching this, it said those swaddling cloth, strips of cloth were not rags. They would be equated to what we call a receiving blanket today. They took these strips and wrapped the babies to keep their limbs in a certain position. That was what that was, those swaddling cloth. And it says, why was he born in a stable? Because there was no what?
Room.
The room in the
room in the end. This version said there was no guest room available for them. Well, what was happening then? Remember one, we just talked about them having to journey slowly because of her pregnancy. So the people who could go faster would have gone ahead and of course gotten the room in the inn. And then it is said that during that time they were having the Feast of Trumpets, the Feast of Trumpets. This was a 10 days consecration and repentance celebration that the Jews had around this time. And so many of them would have been celebrating the Feast of Trumpets. So they would also have been occupying the rooms at the inn. So these are some of the reasons why they couldn't find any room in the inn. And then our final question, is there a final question?
I believe this was the end of this one.
Okay, that's the final question where we'll stop today with him being born in an inn. So what can we get from this part of unwrapping this morning? It said, if God is able to so organize the landscape of Israel and move the heart of the great Caesar Augustus and choose the right young couple to bring up his dearly beloved son? Is he not able to act in each of our lives? That's something for us to think about. If God could orchestrate the landscape of Israel, move the heart of the great Caesar Augustus, and choose the right couple to bring up his dearly beloved son, he is well able to act in each of our lives. And so that gives us hope. Gives us hope. That's what this special episode is giving us, hope that that same God will orchestrate your life and he can take care of everything in your life. You leave it to him. When it seems most dismal, that great God is going to fix it for you. That's what he's all about. God and God alone. So we are so happy Jesus was born. Hark, the herald angels sing.
Glory to the newborn King.
Amen. Hark the herald angels sing glory to the newborn King. Thank you for joining us on Let's Talk this morning. Thank you for inviting friends and guests. Thank you, Miss Richards. Thank you again, Opal, for returning this morning. Who else do I see? Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Maureen. So you have been a great ambassador for Let's Talk. Kudos to you. Remember to go to our YouTube channel, give a thumbs up, share, and of course, put a positive comment, and that'll be a way of inviting a guest through our YouTube channel. Remember to make, what are you making this week? What are you baking?
Brownies.
Brownies or gingerbread. And what's your project you're making this week?
Poinsettias.
A part of poinsettias. A part. Oh, there you are, Jennifer. There you are. Good to see you. A part of poinsettias. All right. Those of you who have not been getting that creative genes going, come on now. Don't let it lie dormant. Go and get that whatever paper, fabric, whatever, and create a pot of poinsettias. Thank you again for joining us this morning. Next week, we will be having our Christmas party. So come dressed and come ready to participate and Let's Talk Christmas Party. Bring your little party treats to eat and drink. Whatever you eat at a party, you bring it to our party. We are going to have a party. Dress in your party clothes and let's come to have fun. I'll send that invite out to you shortly. God bless each of you and your family. Please do stay safe out there.
Okay.
Thank you. Hi, Miss Jean.
Hi.
Thank you.